Hey, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, live on Elevation 5280, Sports and Lifestyles. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell, coming to you live for another episode number 3 already, the last episode in the month of May. It's great to be back with you once again. Those are going to be listening, tuning in. It's going to be a great show, another great show like it was last year. Wednesday, last Thursday night. It's going to be a better show like it was last Thursday night, but it's going to be much better. So I'm going to end this month on a great note. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into the breakdown of sports. We're going to get into the NBA. As always, going to start with the NBA recap. You already have a finals participant already, and Boston Celtics. We're going to go over their body of work as they are in the NBA finals. They are waiting the winner of the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. So we're going to see about that. Let's get started with Friday. After I did my last show on Friday, the Mavericks took a 2-0 lead. This was a very, very good game. Give credit to Jokic. I mean, Doncic. Excuse me, Luka Doncic. He was definitely a catalyst in this matchup. He made a big time go ahead 3-point shot with Rudy Gobert guarding, which is not a good look because when you look at Rudy Gobert, yes, he's the defensive player of the year, but at the same time, he's not qualified to guard a Luka Doncic on the outside. Or him trying to shoot a three. He just crossed him over and just did whatever it is that he did to make a jump shot from 3-point range. He was able to make the shot and he was able to win 109 to 108. Big time victory for the Mavericks going on the road. Won the first two games in Minnesota, which is interesting. And that's why it shows you that there's a lot of parity in the NBA. There's no great team. Anybody can win. I'm not convinced with Boston. Yes, Boston is a team to beat, but they are unbeatable. And I think when you look at Dallas, the storyline this series so far is Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Those are two guys that are making it happen because they are dominating the backcourt against Edwards and Conley. They got two closers. And when you got two closers, you're always gonna have a chance to win when you got those guys on your side. So I think from that perspective, 109, 108 was a victory because of what Doncic did, crossing over Rudy Gobert, the defending uh, defensive player of the year. He won defensive player of the year, and he was able to cross over Rudy Gobert and able to make a big time 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? That's how great Doncic is. He's a top 5 player in the league. You make a case. He's always in the all NBA team. He's always, consistent. He's not 100%. He's dealing with nagging injuries, but he's finding a way to make these uncanny shots and be a playmaker in the process. And they was able to win 109 to 108 last Friday night to go up 2 games to none. And the thing about this game, that give credit to Doncic once again, 32 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. That was his 8th triple double in 42 career postseason games for the Mavericks. And give credit to the Mavericks because the Mavericks were down 18 points late in the second quarter, and also they were down 16 points midway through the third quarter. So they was able to find a way to get the job done and finish well in the end. So it shows a resiliency, and that's like a theme in the playoffs. Like you've seen so many uh, comebacks, whether it be a 20-point lead that was done by Minnesota, come back from 20-point lead against Denver in that game 7 in the semifinals against Denver, whether it be in Boston. They've been coming back. Now you see Dallas, they're another example of coming back from a large deficit and finding ways to get it done, deliver the goods. And Dallas was the catalyst, 32 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. Now, Niles Reed definitely gave him a game ball, even though Minnesota lost. He one that was keeping them in the game. He hit 7 3-point shots. He had 23 points, 23 points. He had 7 threes made in 9 attempts, and he was able to keep them in the game. But he had one more chance to make a game-winning walk-off 3-pointer, and it rimmed out. The shot rimmed out as buzzer sounded, and they was able to fall short, losing 109 to 108. So that's a tough loss right there to lose 2 games at home. If you're Minnesota's like what they did to Denver was done to them because they lost the first 2 games at home. They got the home court advantage. and they couldn't hold it down and get the job done, losing to the Mavericks twice at home. So it's like the tables being turned back on the Minnesota Timberwolves, what they did to Denver, going into Denver, win the first two games. Then all of a sudden, here comes Denver. They win the next two games, actually the next three games, and go up 3-2, but still lose the series. So it's like the road teams are handling the business also. When you look at these playoffs, the road teams are coming in to other people's building and winning. You find ways to win. So there's no such thing as home court advantage. It seems like that's like another thing too. When you look at uh, these NBA players, that there's so many opportunities where the road team finds a way to win, and also these are never safe. That's another theme in this NBA players, that these are never safe. You have a 20-point lead, 18-point lead, and still not finish the deal. So it's a lot there. Maybe it's the offense or ahead of the defenses, whatever it is. There's something going on where you have a big lead and you still can't close it out. You're still able to relinquish the lead and give up a big lead and lose the game. So I think from that standpoint, that's one of the themes in this playoffs, that there's no dominant team. I'm not convinced with Boston. Yes, they beat Indiana. We're gonna get into them in a few minutes, but there's a lot of work to be done to prove that they are champions. It's not gonna be easy. They play Dallas. It's not gonna be a cakewalk, because they got two great closers in Kyrie Irving, and they got obviously Luka Doncic, who's a top five player. You make a case, definitely in top 10. So from that standpoint, this team is dangerous. I mean, they got Lively the second. They got Gafford. They was able to do whatever it is they want to do, as far as the pick and roll aspect, stagger pick and rolls, and guys just getting so many points in the paint. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that's amazing about Dallas, is that in that game too, they was able to get so many easy layups, so many easy baskets. They was able to get so many easy baskets in the paint, and that's a big deal, because you got Naj Reid, you got Corey Anthony Towns, you got Rudy Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year, and you still can't stop these guys from getting layups and dunks, whether it be lobs, alley oops. They able to do that at a frequent weight, the frequency of their layups and dunks on a consistent basis. They kept getting easy baskets and not be able to, you know, make a stop. I'm saying? Points in the pen was just coming in droves. I'm saying? Where's the defense? Where's this great defense that Minnesota supposed to have on a frequent level? They just kept getting no easy shots in the paint. So this defense has not been impressive so far. The defense has not been locked down the way they did, at times with Denver. So Minnesota's defense didn't show up like they're supposed to, and make stops. So when you look at it, it's like a role reversal. The two losses that Minnesota gave to Denver on the road, now Dallas went into Minnesota and win two games on their home turf, on their home floor. So it's like deja vu all over again. It's just like it's just a role reversal. Now Minnesota find themselves down 0-2. See what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, give credit to Dallas. They was able to hold it down and take two games in somebody else's building, and now you have a 2-0 lead. So that's what took place on Friday. 109-108 was the final score in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic had a triple double, 32 points, uh, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds. And that's his eighth triple double, man. Eight triple doubles in his 4-2 career postseason games. I didn't play that many, postseason games. He's been around for a long time, but the thing about it is that that's not that many, playoff games. 42 games, you already got, all these triple doubles in that spectrum. So I think that's the thing that's impressive about Luka Doncic, such an all-around player. But also, like I said, just the pick and rolls, the screens, all that stuff. And that's what Doncic does great too. Is not just he's a scorer, but he's a guy that can give you, a lot of assists. He can dish it out. He can make plays. He can be that playmaker. I think that's what makes him dangerous from that perspective. He's a dangerous player as a playmaker, getting the ball to his teammates. But those lobs, man, there's the scoring at will inside the paint. They had to make adjustments on that one because they kept getting so many easy dunks and layups. And let's look at the points in the paint. That's very important. Points in the paint. Points in the paint. Dallas had 54 points in the paint to 42 points in the paint for Minnesota. So they was able to make a habit just getting all these easy baskets, all these easy layups and dunks. That's the thing that stands out. That's the thing that stands out from that perspective. So that's what it's all about right now. Dallas went up 2 games to none. So I won't be long with that game review of that game. So let's move on to Saturday's games. Saturday's game, the lone game. And that was the Celtics and the Pacers. And again, deja vu all over again. You saw the Celtics, just like the Dallas Mavericks, on the road, overcome a deficit. Now the Pacers obviously didn't have Halliburton, Halliburton, what's his name? Yeah, Therese Halliburton. He was out. The All NBA, point guard was out due to this hamstring. But give credit to the Pacers. Even though they lost this game, they competed. They did not, lay down and roll over. They competed. They gave, the Celtics a run for their money. And they jumped out to a big lead. Now, Celtics had a 32-31 lead at the end of the first quarter. But again, it's a total cliche, but it's true. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's not how you start the game, it's how you finish the game. And there were times where, when you look at the Pacers had their chances. Had their opportunities. They had the opportunities to win this game. They had a lead. They wasn't able to sustain it for 4 quarters. So they ended up losing this game 114 to 111. A big time play by Drew Holiday, a layup, and he got an and one, and then he had a steal. It looked like a foul. Ref should have called a foul in that. He did make some contact on Nimbar, and he was able to steal the ball and preserve the victory. But to give credit to the Celtics were able to hang in there, persevere, and win the game and get the job done and move forward to a commanding 3-0 lead as they win 114 to 111 in Indiana. But they had to do it the hard way. They had to come back from a large deficit that the Pacers had. Because let's look at the play-by-play sequence. The Pacers had a big lead in this game. They had an 18-point lead. So it's sent to Dallas. Dallas coming back from deficits like they did against Minnesota. Down 18 points, down 16 points. No sweat, come back and win the game. But it's the same thing that applies to what Boston did. Boston was down 64 to 46. Andrew Nembhard makes a 3-point shot with 2:43 to go in the third quarter. Excuse me, in the second quarter. Beg your pardon, the second quarter. This is in the second quarter. The second quarter, they got an 18-point lead. 64-46 in the second quarter. But here comes the Celtics. They trailed about 17 points at times, but they was able to cut the lead 12 points. But they were down 18 points, 64-46. That's something to remember if you're a Pacers fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a chance to get this series back to 2-1. Get to 2-1. Now, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. What sport you play, football, basketball, you have a big lead, doesn't mean you're going to finish strong. If you finish strong, that's when you're going to win. You can start well, but you got to finish well. And that's what the Pacers did not do. They did not finish strong. So let's get into like the third quarter. With the lead now 69-57, I mean, the Pacers was playing pretty good. They had a 16-point lead, 73-57. Miles Turner hits a 12-foot shot with 10:37 to go in the third quarter. They have a 16-point lead. Miles Turner makes a dunk with 9:52 to go. So they had a 16-point lead a few times. They was in control. They had a double-digit lead for the majority of the third quarter. That's the thing that's amazing about this comeback by the Celtics. Give them credit. They didn't take it easy and just mail it in. Or it's not our night. No, they competed. They wanted to win this game and try to finish the series off. And that's what you got to do. And despite Tyrese Halliburton not being there, give credit to the pace. They compete. They played well enough to win. They had a 15-point lead a few times. They had double-digit lead throughout most of the whole quarter of the third quarter. But Celtics, one of the catalysts for the Celtics was um, Al Horford. He had 7 3-pointers. He just, when he's wide open. Most of the threes that he made, he was wide open. He was able to just knock down 3-point shot after 3-point shot after 3-point shot. He was always open for threes. But when you look at the Pacers, man, the Pacers had a lead for the majority of this game. And when you can't finish, you end up losing. That's why they came short and losing this game, and now they're down 0-3 at that time because they blew a lead, double-digit leads in this ball game, and you cannot do that. You got to be able to finish the deal, and that's what the Pacers didn't do. They didn't finish. Yes, you played well. You had a valiant effort, but you gotta get the W. So that's why they went home down 0-3 in that situation, losing 114 to 111. Give credit to the Celtics. They was able to find a way to get it done. Instead of mailing it in, they was able to persevere and get the job done and win this game and go up 3 games to 0, being one win away from going to the NBA Finals in franchise history. I mean, how many times has the team gone? I think it's like 23 times that they've been in the NBA Finals. 23 times they've been in the NBA Finals. I think it's 23 times. I gotta double check that, but they was able to just get it done when they needed to make a comeback. They turned it on, turned up the heat, and they was able to get it done. So at the end of the third quarter, they trail only by 9. And then the fourth quarter, they just took over. They kept making basket after basket, hanging in there, persevering, making down. No, again, Al Horford hitting a lot of threes, 7 of them. I see Derek Wright hit a three, cut the 4 points, 99-95 with 5:41 to go in the fourth quarter. But the Pacers just cannot stop the avalanche of the Celtics and how they were scoring, executing their offense. You know what I'm saying? Making it happen. So, but Horford was definitely a catalyst, man. You gotta give him a game ball because he hit 7 3-pointers. Most of those 3 points are very important in this comeback. Remember, they trailed by 18 points, 64 to 46. They still able to find a way to get the job done. Still find a way to win. So then with 38.2 seconds left, with a score of 111 to 109, after Pascal Siakam misses a driving layup, Jaylen Brown gets the rebound, and Drew Holiday makes a layup and gets fouled by Siakam. He makes the free throw. Now they up 112 to 111. And then he stole the ball with 3.1 seconds left from Nimbar. Looked like he got fouled. Looked like there was no contact, but they was able to win 114 to 111. So big contribution for Tatum. Jason Tatum had 36 points. Almost had a triple double. Had 8 assists, 10 rebounds, 36 points, 5 of 10 from three. Was 12 for 23 from the field. Jaylen Brown had 24-point shot well, 10 of 18. And then again, the Celtics love shooting threes. They took 46 3-pointers and made 16 of them. And the guy that made the most threes obviously was Al Horford. He had 23 points, 5 rebounds, hitting 7 threes, and 12 attempts. And the loser calls Limbar played well. He had 32 points. Shepard, who replaced, Halliburton, didn't do anything. He had no points. So that's not good. But they still had a chance to win. McConnell had 23 points off the bench. Siakam had 22 points. And Turner had 22 points, but they fell short. So now they lost that game. Now Celtics came win away from going to another NBA final. So let's look at Sunday's game. You had the Mavericks. They took the 3-0 lead themselves as well. No messing around at home, winning 116 to 107. And again, the combination of Doncic and Urban was too hard to handle, too tough to deal with for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They just a lethal combination in that backcourt. He scored 33 points apiece. 33 points apiece. 33 points. They combined for 66 points. as a dynamic duo in that backcourt. He was able to win 116 to 107. Now the backcourt of Conley and Edwards played much better. They combined for 42 points, 26 points for Edwards. Almost had a triple double. He had 9 assists, 9 rebounds, um, 16 points for Conley. But again, it's not good enough to offset what Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic brought to the table. They're such a dynamic duo. They could score on you. They could do anything. They shoot threes. They hit jump shots. They can do what they do. I'm saying they know how to get it done. And we look at Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. They combine 66 points, 33 apiece. They combine for 22 out of 40 for his shooting percentage, for his shots made and shots attempted. 20 attempts that was attempted for shots was Irving and Doncic shot the same amount of field goal attempts. 20 attempts apiece. Kyrie Irving shot the ball extremely well, 12 of 20. That's a good percentage. 10 of 20 for Doncic. And Doncic had 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. For his 3-point shooting, they was outstanding also. They combined they were 8 for 17 from three, 3 for 6 from three for Kyrie Irving, 5 of 11 from three from Doncic. You know what I'm saying? Lethal. 14 out of 28 from three. So they able to shoot 50% from 3-point range. You know what I'm saying? So the thing I like about Dallas in this performance is that they didn't jack up a whole lot of threes. They took 28 threes. That should be for every team. But he's jacking up 53s. That's not good. Let's look at the Timberwolves. They took 30 3-point shots, only made 9. And the thing about it is also, look at Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns has not played well. He did play well in the last game as they won, but he shoots too many threes. But that's always been in there. It's like the Stephen Curry effect. Everybody wants to be Stephen Curry. It seems like on the surface, like everybody want to shoot from 3-point range. Instead of developing a mid-range game, go to the basket, get fouled, find a way to earn your keep from a 2-point range perspective. Mid-range game. Develop, get a jump shot going from the 2-point perspective. Get to the basket. If the three's not going, why keep shooting the three? Do something else. Find an alternative. And that's what Karl Anthony Towns has not done in the series. Now he played well in the last game and they won that game. But at the same time, why he's not being aggressive? Supposed to be a big time player, you gotta get it done. And then we look at Edwards. Edwards has not played well in this series either. He played well in the last game. Played pretty good. He almost had a triple double, but they lost 116 to 107. So that was the storyline on that one. The Mavericks, this unstoppable dynamic duo of Doncic and Irving, just two unstoppable. So that was the storyline on that. They took a 3-0 lead and come one win away from going to the NBA Finals. Then Monday, this past Memorial Day, the Celtics beat the Pacers 105 to 102. Another close one. It's like it was close in the last game, so they won by 3 points again. As they, advance to the NBA Finals. I mean, I think they've been in the NBA Finals 23 times. I gotta double check that. But the thing about them, man, they just find a way to get it done again. Getting it done, winning a close one. And the guy that made the difference was Derek White. He hit a big time 3-point shot with 43 seconds to go. That was a big time three. He had 16 points and we made one of 8 threes, but that shot they made from the corner made the difference. Jalen Brown, Tatum had 26 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. So the Celtics be trying to get that 18th NBA championship, which I believe will be the most in the NBA for championships. So that was just a great shot by Derek White, just making that big time three. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about the uncanniness of this Celtics team. Find a way to get it done, regardless of the circumstances. They find a way to win. They find a way to get the job done and win this game. Jalen Brown had 29 points, 6 rebounds. He had a key block with 65 seconds left to preserve the lead. So he did with defense and did with offense. So they develop a killer instinct. The only thing that they didn't blow nobody out, blow the Pacers out, but give credit to the Pacers. At least they competed. But they find a way. And the thing about the Celtics is that they've won 7 straight playoff games. They played pretty good in these playoffs. They haven't lost that many games. And they're 6-0 on the road. And they're 3-0 in the elimination games. So they're showing something that they are capable of putting teams away. If they got to win a close game, not going to blow everybody out every week, but they find ways to get it done on the road, close it out, and get the job done and move on to the next game, move on to the next round. And that's what they was able to do from that perspective. So when you look at the Pacers, they fought hard. They had a valiant effort, but again, it's not about more victories. You gotta get the job done. You gotta get the victory. And they wasn't able to do that. They fell short, and now they're going home. And think about what could have been if they had Halliburton. Yeah, the series probably would have been different. I think I'll still get advanced to the Celtics, but it's not good to get swept. It's never good to get swept, because this is such an embarrassing situation. You know what I'm saying? But give credit to the Celtics. They found a way to finish the deal, and now they're advancing to the NBA Finals. But they're just resting, waiting on the winner of Dallas and Minnesota. I'll give you an update real shortly. But that's the difference, man. That's the thing that stands out. Is that Boston knows how to close games out. They're not gonna blow you out, but they know how to get it done on the road. They're playing great on the road, better than they playing at home. They're playing very well, so they're gonna be well rested. The NBA Finals actually gonna start on June 6th. I'm gonna check the appearances of the Celtics. The appearances of the Celtics in the finals. I think it's 23 times they made it. Might be wrong on that. The amount of finals appearances. Obviously, they've been there so many times. Okay, they've been there 22 times. 22. That's what I see. So they're so prolific at being in the NBA Finals. But the thing about them, they was in the NBA Finals, 2 years ago and lost to Golden State. And the Celtics have not won the NBA championship since 2008. And that's when they had uh, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and they had Ray Allen. Doc Rivers was the coach. So it's been a long time since the Celtics have won the championship. Now they've been relevant. They've been in the conference finals a lot with Tatum and Brown. They're doing their thing. But can they get over the hump and win the championship? All the pressure's on them. All the pressure's on them. They gotta get it done. So it's like 22 times they've been in the finals all time. So that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, so they're in the finals. So let's move on to see Tuesday and give credit to Timberwolves. They avoided a sweep on the road and a hostile environment in Dallas, and they won the game 105-100. Got the job done. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns had probably his best game of the series. He had 25 points, 5 rebounds. He did foul out, but the thing that stood out that he took less 3-point shots. He made 9 field goals in 13 attempts. He made 4 3-point shots in 5 attempts. So he didn't jack up all these threes, 8 to 10 threes. Even Edwards, only shot 5 3-point attempts. But he had 29 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Almost had a triple double. So when you look at Edwards and Towns, the big time 2-man duo, 2-man team, 2-man guys, 2 main guys. 2 of their main guys was able to get it done. They combined for 54 points. Conley had 14 points. But those 2 guys were the catalyst to hold off the Mavericks. They won 105-100. Kyrie and Luka didn't play that well. They played very, very poorly. Now, Doncic did have another triple double though. 28 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. But he didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He shot 21 times from the field, made 7 of them, and he took 11 3-point shots and we made 4 of them. Irving wasn't that great either. The Iron was unkind 3 point shooting wise. You only had 16 points, 1 for 6 from the three, 6 of 18 from the field. And he took 43 point shots of Dallas. So in a sense, Conley and Edwards, the backcourt, scored 33 points. Yes, Irving and Dodgers, they had combined for 44 points, but they wasn't that effective as they've been in the series. So they lost that game. So that series went to 3 games to 1. And now you got tonight's game. Give you an update right now. It looks like the Mavericks got a long way to go. But right now, the score right now is 64-38 with minute and 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Mavericks are up 64-38. So the Mavericks are not playing around. Luka Doncic hit a 3 point shot to put him up by 26 points. So they're not messing around right now. They want to close it out, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? You want to close it out. You want to close it out if you're the Dallas Mavericks, because right now Boston Celtics are resting. They're resting right now, so they gotta make sure that they handle their business, close it out, win this game, get your rest. Now both teams are gonna be rusty, so it's like Dallas gonna get it done. They right now are leading by 26 points. They're not messing around tonight. Luka Doncic is red hot right now, man. He got 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's 5 of 7 from three. He's efficient. 10 of 15 from the 3 point line. I mean, from the field. 10 for 15 from the field. From the was like shooting from the field. He's 10 for 15, and he's 5 of 7 from three. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 25 points. Kyrie Irving has 14 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 6 of 10 from the field. So the dynamic duo of Irving and Doncic is definitely on point right now. 39 points combined from these two. And when you look at the Timberwolves, Towns is playing pretty good. 12 points. He didn't make a three yet. 5 of 10. Edwards has 12 points, 4 of 9, but you're not getting anything from Gobert. Got 7 points. Um, right now, it's just a wrap right now in the first half. They down 27 points. They down 67-40. So they're getting dominated right now. So that's what it's about. You gotta get yourself together, get it done, finish these guys off. Guys showing that they're a better team than Minnesota. Minnesota has a lot of work to do. This is what you gotta do. 29.7 seconds to go in the second quarter. They're up 27 points, 67-40. So let's see if they can hold it off. But it looks like it's gonna be a done deal. Again, it's not how you start. It's how you finish. Like I talked about earlier, that deficits are never, done with. Deficits can't be overcome. Now, this deficit may be insurmountable, but this deficit is not showing that this game's over yet. This game's not over yet. What Barry's got to do in the second half is not put off the gas pedal. They got to finish and get a home safe. They up 28 points right now, 68-40. That's what it looks like right now. 68-40. Now they got 67-40. So right now, Mavericks looking good right now. But can they sustain it? Can they sustain this lead in the second half? All right, so that's it for that. Long winded. I did a lot with the NBA. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into baseball. Get into some baseball time. No, matter of fact, Bill Walton. Let's get into Bill Walton. Bill Walton passed away this past Memorial Day. Rest in peace to Bill Walton, one of the all-time greats. When you think of Bill Walton, obviously synonymous with greatness. What he did when he was with the UCLA Bruins, and again, he replaced Eulul Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at UCLA. He dominated. Obviously, he started the dynasty, the dynastic run. The thing about Bill Walton is that he took the dynasty that was begin with Lou Alcindor, took it to the next stratosphere. He won 2 championships. He was dominant. Won 88 games. Scored 44 points, 21 out of 22 against Memphis State in the 1973 national championship game. So this guy was definitely a legendary player in what he did as a player. He's an activist. He stood up against the Vietnam War. So he definitely was a guy that was a trailblazer, like a hippie of the NBA, the first hippie of the NBA. That counterculture, you know, period of time, that climate. That's what he came out of. Saying so. He definitely filled his shoes easily after Kareem left. He was able to just do his thing as a player and not miss a beat. I'm saying because when you look at UCLA Bruins, they didn't miss a beat. Despite Kareem going to the NBA playing with the Milwaukee Bucks, he was able to sustain the excellence of the UCLA dynasty and take it to the next level, winning 88 straight games in a row. That's the longest winning streak ever in men's basketball. And in fact, this is the 50th anniversary of UCLA losing to Notre Dame. The 3 years at that time, no, 1971, they started that winning streak. Then they lose 3 years later to Notre Dame on the road, 88 game winning streak lost on January 19th, 1974. 50 years ago, that losing streak was snapped. That's how dominant UCLA was at the time. You're never going to see, you know, a program like UCLA with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Walton and all the cast of characters that they had around them, those big men, and dominate like that from 1967 to 1973. They were the best team in college football, in college basketball. College basketball is dominant with UCLA basketball. They got the most championships for a reason. They won 7 straight championships from 1967 to 1973. So I'm saying, so he may go down as maybe argue the greatest college basketball player ever. I won't put him over Kareem, but he's in the top five. I'm saying he don't take no back seat to anyone. Now, when you look at his professional career, he gets drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, and you don't know shadow of a doubt, this guy Bill Walton put Portland Trailblazers on the map. Before Clyde Drexler, it was Bill Walton. They won a championship. They were the youngest team ever to win a championship. In 1977, they beat the 76ers team that had Dr. J, Julius Erving, World B. Free, Doug Collins. They had George McGinnis, Darryl Dawkins. This team was talented, and they were up 2 games to none. And they came back and beat the talented 76ers, beat them in six. And that was one of the rare times at that time where a team came back from an 0-2 deficit and win. But Walton was a dominant player. Now, the thing that hurt him obviously was his injuries. He had the foot injuries that's well documented. He was always hurt. They win that championship in '77. You're thinking, okay, this team gonna be a dynasty because the following year, not only did he win Finals MVP in 1977, he wins the league's MVP in 1978. You know what I'm saying? They were 50-10 after 60 games. That's how dominant they was. Now back to his college years. Bill Walton won 3 consecutive National College Player of the Year awards, 1972, 1974. Had an 88 game winning streak. Dominant. Won 2 championships in 1972, 1973 when he was there. And then he wins the championship in 1977. But he just dealt with too many injuries, man. He had 37 orthopedic surgeries in his lifetime. Whether it be foot injuries, that's the main thing, man. He could not, be the same player, unfortunately. But they could have been a dynasty. When you talk about teams that could have been a dynastic team, you got to look at the Portland Trailblazers. Because in 77, 78, the first 60 games that the Trailblazers played in 1977, 78 year, they won 50 of those games, 50 out of 60. So they're 50-10. Walton had averaged 18.9 points a game, 13.2 rebounds a game, 5.0 assists, 2.5 blocks in 58 games. But then he suffered a broken foot. He still won an MVP, still was the best player, but he was too hurt to play in the playoffs. They lost to Seattle. They lost to Seattle in the first round. Yeah, they lost to Seattle in six games. I'm saying, so what could have been, you know what I'm saying? So he had rejuvenated his career after he played the Clippers with the Boston Celtics. Now, the 86 Celtics, people view them as the greatest team ever because they were such a great passing kind of team, playing with Larry Bird, Mikael Parrish, Dennis Johnson. That team, won 67 games, and he won Six Man of the Year. So he definitely went to the right team, and they needed a guy like him because he was a good backup to, Robert Parrish, and he was able to do his thing coming off that bench, averaging 8 points, 6.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2.2 blocks in 19 minutes. That this is in the NBA Finals against Houston Rockets. So that was a great team. He fit right with them at that time. On Six Man of the Year. And here's another note about Bill Walton as a player. So let's get into the stats. In 86, he played 80 games, 85, 86 season. He played 80 games for the Celtics. He came to them in 85, 86. He had 7.6 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.2 blocks in 19 minutes. He had a career high 56.2 field goal percentage. So he was a reliable backup for Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. So he wins the Six Man a Year. Now, here's a stat about Bill Walton that made him so special. He became the only player, Bill Walton, to win an MVP, Finals MVP, and win Six Man of the Year and win regular season MVP. Like that same game, he won a Finals MVP, a Six Man award, and he won MVP of the regular season. He's no better than that. But his injuries, man, just kept it from being the best because he was like looked at if he would stay healthy, he would have been like the complete center. Like when he was at the peak of his powers, I mean, he was the best because he could pass the ball, he could defend, he could play the center position properly. He was great at playing fundamentally, you know, at a high level as far as getting rebounds, dishing the ball out, assists, defense. He could score, shoot it. He could do it all. You know what I'm saying? He's a complete player. And he was healthy all around center, complete. That's how great he was. Obviously, he had success, in the media. I'm not gonna get into that. But thing is, he's one of the all-time greats. Even though he played at a short time, he didn't play that long. When he was healthy, he was great. He was the best. It's just that those injuries hurt. So rest in peace to Bill Walton. We give an update on the Timberwolves and the Mavericks. At halftime, it's 69-40. 69-40, 29-point lead for Dallas. Dallas is not playing around tonight. They want to end the series tonight. But can they finish it off and finish off the Timberwolves? All right. So that's it for Bill Walton. Let's look at the Major League Baseball recap. Quickly, let's get into that. We're only on from 9 to 10 o'clock. So let me quickly go over the standings in the Major League Baseball. So I'm going to be on time because I'm not going to stay on, past 10 o'clock tonight. So I got to speed it up a little bit. Now, we look at the standings. The Yankees in the American League East, they are 38-19. So they're half a game up over the Orioles. In the American League Central Division, the Guardians are 37-19, playing very well. Won 8 of the last 10. They up 3 games over the Royals, who are 35-23. And then when you look at the American League West, the Seattle Mariners are 31-27, got a 3-game lead over the Texas Rangers, who are 27-29, 2 games under 500. Astros are 25-32. So that's what's going on in the American League. The National League, still the best record in baseball by a slight margin is the Phillies. Philadelphia Phillies are 39-18, 6 games up over the Braves. Then you got the Brewers, 33-23, 5 games up, and you got the Dodgers, 36-22. So that's the storyline with the standings that's going on in baseball right now. Still, as we go into the month of June, you got the Phillies. Man, they the best team in baseball. They the best team. by far the best team in baseball. And I think from that standpoint, keep your eyes on the Phillies. Now, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Regular season in the Major League Baseball is a marathon. It was 162 games. So you don't know who the best team is till you get to like August, September, obviously postseason time. Now we're gonna know who our good teams are. So that's storyline that. Quickly, let's get into the Pete Rose book that I started reading last week about Charlie Hustle. I talked about how Charlie Hustle, that nickname came from Mickey Mantle, the legendary baseball player for the Yankees. Got he coined that term, that moniker for Pete Rose, uh, Charlie Hustle, because Charlie Hustle meant for Pete Rose just running hard, being a hustler on the bases, just playing hard. How he ran the bases, stuff like that. So let's resume with chapter 13. Read some excerpts from that. I'm just gonna skip around a little bit. Like I said, I want to stay. Got 10 more minutes left in the show, so I want to go over 10 o'clock. This is just an hour show. 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And the thing about it tonight, I was able to start like a few minutes after 9 compared to the first two episodes. So this third episode, I'm getting a good handle on how to get things started with this live stream on StreamYard. So that's the thing about it. That's a good improvement. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 13. It says, for weeks, Don Blasingame had seen it coming, and he didn't flinch when he got the news, even though his wife was 8 months pregnant, and Hutch's decision would have significant financial ramification for his family. The Blazer refused to blame Pete for his demotion to the backup second baseman. So instead, in Indianapolis, the day before the opener, he wished the rookie good luck and offered him a bit of advice. You got a chance to make a lot of money in this game. Don't do anything foolish. Other players on the team were less gracious. They had quietly disliked Pete Rose for his hot dogging, for sprinting to first base on walks, for his oversized ego, which didn't seem to fit under his ball cap, and for the whole aggressive Charlie Hustle vibe to which Mickey Mantle had given a name. See, that's where he got his, the nickname from. Charlie Hustle got from Mickey Mantle. Now they disliked him because he had jumped the line. He had waited his turn. He had taken the Blazers' job in the clubhouse. That April, Pete would find himself relegated to hanging out with the team's two outspoken black stars rather, and Frank Robinson, the 1961 league MVP, and Vader Pinson, the outfitter who had punched Scoops Lawson in the face the previous summer. So in the years to come, people would reframe this moment to make it seem like this was no big deal. In some ways, but that was probably true. Ever since he reported to Geneva in June 1960 and joined Tony Perez in the locker room there, Pete had been living and playing next to black and Latino players. A baseball locker room, though still mostly white and by no means progressive, was more integrated than most of America. So a young white ball player like Pete Rose was exposed to different cultures in a way an average person was not. So that's what it talks about in the chapter. And then it talks about how it had to be drawn for him to be exiled to an island with Robinson and Pinson because in the 1960s and even into the 70s, players often self-segregated along racial lines, and Pete seemed like a prime candidate to fall in with the white crowd with his Joe Friday crew cut, his white working class roots on Braddock Street, and his education at West High, where in the 50s, school plays were sometimes performed in blackface. Didn't see the world like Robinson and Pinson did. He didn't talk like them. He didn't command a vocabulary that grasped the racial politics of the moment. He couldn't appreciate the depths of the slights that Robinson and Pinson faced, even after hanging out with them on the road, even after they became friends. So that's what was talked about in the this chapter. And also that summer, a prominent and conservative white sports columnist for the New York Daily News wrote that Robinson and Pinson had formed a Negro clique in Cincinnati, an angry one that was dividing the Reds clubhouse. The Negro players think they are being picked on, the columnist wrote, and the white players think the Negro players are getting away with murder. And that is the climate of our time. So Robinson was furious about the comment, so furious that he would dedicate an entire chapter to the topic in his memoir 12 years later. He couldn't understand why the columnist had singled him and Pinson out, or why he wrote about the alleged clique at all. The thing there were cliques in every clubhouse for all kinds of reasons, racial, religious, who drank, who didn't. The clique thing was just nonsense, according to Robson. That's what he said. So we skip over that, stuff like that. So that's what was going on at the time with Pete. Then with playing with black players and stuff, like not being used to that situation, but understanding their plight of the black athlete at the time, 60s. Right. So we skip around a little bit because I guess I only got 5 minutes left in the show. And it says in the chapter that Pete Rose batted 338 over the next 3 weeks. Crouched over the plate with his eyes on the ball and his bat moving through the top of the zone. Then 403 over 15 game stretch in June. So talking about how hot Pete Rose was as a hitter. So talk us about that. And it says Pete was just getting started. He wanted to be named Rookie of the Year, like the Cincinnati Enquirer had predicted. He wanted a new car, something better than his mini green Corvette, stuff like that. So that's basically it for chapter 13. I'll move on to chapter 14, the first Thursday in the month of June. So that's it for that. Right. So quickly, got 4 minutes left in the show. Let's get into on this day in sports history. Let's get into it on this day in sports history. This is May 30th, the final Thursday in the month of May. So let's get into that. What happened on this day in sports history for May 30th? Let's get into it. What took place today in sports? Okay, May 30th in sports history in 1890. On May the 30th in 1890, first baseman Dave Fouts, I think it's Fouts, I think it's Dave Fouts, hits Brooklyn Bridegrooms, later named the Dodgers. First ever home run during a doubleheader, defeats the Chicago Colts at Washington Park, Brooklyn. In 1894, on May 30th, Boston Bean Eaters, baseball second baseman Bobby Lowe, first to hit 4 home runs in a Major League Baseball game in a 2011 win against Cincinnati Reds. Okay, what else? What's new to talk about on May 30th? In 1922, on May 30th, Cubs and Cardinals trade outfielders between morning and afternoon games of doubleheader. Max Flack goes to St. Louis. Cliff Heathcote heads to Chicago. Both gets hits for new clubs in the nightcap. Walter Johnson's record shutout in 1927 on May 30th. He recorded 110th and final shutout of the Baseball Hall of Fame career. That was his career. That was the most in Major League Baseball history. 110th shutout. The Washington Senators. They beat Boston Red Sox 3-0. See, let's keep it moving. You don't look at everything. I just want to look at something that's worth talking about. 1942 on May 30th, Satchel Paige pitches 5 innings to defeat Dizzy Dean's All Stars 8-1. See anything from the NBA on May 30th? That was important. Looking for that. And also, we'll just conclude the show. See nothing else. Still looking. Anything for the NBA? There was a point that happened on May 30th. I don't see nothing. But what I see. Got 1 more minute left. Let them go a little bit over 10 o'clock. But I'm in the show right now. I think that's basically it. To look at. I don't see nothing from the NBA. I don't see anything that's major from the NBA. I don't see nothing. Okay, I gotta leave it with one thing too. On this day, on May 30th, Barry Bonds in 1986 made his major league debut in baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Right, so that's it for the show. Hope you enjoyed the third episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. I'll be back next Thursday night, June 6th. Be the first episode in the month of June. The NBA Finals will be starting next Thursday, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a great series. That's going to be the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. As the Dallas Mavericks right now is winning in a blowout. See what's the score right now, real quick. Right now, 75-42. So they're up by 33 points. Yeah, this game is over. I mean, that's it. It's over. Luka Doncic's got 29 points. It's over, man. They're up by 33 points, 75-42. 10:37 going third quarter. That game's a wrap. That series is over. It's gonna be Boston versus Dallas. That's gonna be a great series. I mean, that's gonna be an amazing series. So stay tuned for that one. I'll be talking about that obviously next Thursday. That game's gonna be going on while I'm on the air, but the updates on that. But I mean, that's just amazing to see them blow them out like that. But they're ready to end the series. And that's what you gotta do. All right, so that's it for the show for tonight. Hope you enjoy everything that I talked about tonight. I'll be back next week for another episode. That'll be episode number 4 already. The 4th episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, live on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. And also check out my writing. I wrote an article. It came out recently. It was about the 40th anniversary of the 1984 NBA Finals and how that NBA Finals saved the NBA. I give reasons for that. That came out a couple of days ago. Check that out on e5280sports.com, e5280sports.com. Check out the article that I wrote. I write articles for the network Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyle. Write articles. My last recent article that I wrote was about the 40th anniversary, which started in May 27th, this past Monday. This month as a whole was marked the 40th anniversary of the Celtics and Lakers. How Bird and Magic met for the first time in the NBA Finals. Obviously, they had met 5 years earlier in the national championship game when Michigan State, led by Magic Johnson, went up against Indiana State, like Bird. So I gave reasons why that NBA Finals changes the NBA forever. So you can read that article on e5280sports.com. Yeah, that NBA Finals started this past Monday on Memorial Day. It started on May 27th, 1984. So that was very important to talk about that. Get to that. I'm 2 minutes over 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna end it in a few minutes, couple minutes. But I just want to know, once you check out that article about that on e5280sports.com, check it out. The article that I wrote. And I got more pieces to come, more pieces, more articles. That everything gonna be good. That was a good piece to write about, chronicling and celebrating that that moment in time. That was a great, article. I felt so. Hopefully, you enjoy it when you get a chance. So that was in 1984 when that NBA Finals was played. So that's what it comes down to. May 27th. That's the date it started. May 27th and it ended on June 12th because that series went 7 games. That's a series that the Lakers should have won. They just finished the deal. The thing about that NBA Finals, you had 10 Hall of Famers in that NBA Finals. Some of these you're not gonna see ever again. And that's why Michael Jordan is not, yes, he's great, but he never had a rival like Bird had Magic had Bird. But quickly, the Celtics had Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. Those are 4 Hall of Famers. The Lakers had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Cooper, who's going to the Hall of Fame this year, Magic Johnson, Bob McAdoo, Jamal Brooks, and James Worthy. So you had 10 Hall of Famers, 6 on the Lakers, 4 on the Celtics. 10 Hall of Famers. That's one of the great series ever, maybe the great series ever. That's all needs to be said. But the Celtics could got swept because the Lakers won the first game. They won the first game. Then they lost in overtime. The game two, then game three, they get blown out, 137 to 104. Then they won in overtime, 129 to 125. Then the Celtics won game five, 121 to 103. And then the Lakers even the series up at 3-3, winning 119 to 108. Then they won game seven, 111 to 102. But the Lakers could have swept them because they won game one, should have won game two. They won game three, they should have won game four. It's just that they made a lot of mistakes. Magic Johnson didn't play that well in crucial situations and stuff like that. And Boston was physical. I'm saying? They were very physical. They really intimidated the Lakers. Kevin McHale clotheslining, Kurt Rambis, that takedown, that intimidated the Lakers. Lakers was never the same in that rest of that series. So they were more tougher, more physical than the Lakers. They was able to get redemption the following year in '85, winning in 6 games and finally beating the Celtics in 6 games because the Celtics always have beaten the Lakers in the finals, always. So from that standpoint, the '85 year had to be the year for the Lakers. And they was able to do it, beat them twice in the '80s, and eventually beat them in 2010 with Kobe, Paul Gasol, and those guys. So currently, they won 3 times in the finals against the Celtics. So that's it for that. Look at that. I'm gonna be long winded. So my time is up. It's 10:06 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm done for the show. Again, once again, thank you for tuning in to Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, which comes on every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on your Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Until then, talk to you next month, in the month of June, live on your Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles next Thursday night. Till then, talk to you next Thursday night. Until then, talk to you in the month of June. Thank you for tuning in.